All right, back at the bus, back at it again with episode 6 and 7 of The Penguin. I am not gonna lie, I really liked episode 6 and 7. I liked
Let's
how
turn
we
it up.
kind of, yeah, we kind of did like a nice little time jump into the future a little bit. My boys got the tunnels working immaculately, and things seem to be going pretty well for him now that Sophia and Mr. Krabs don't seem to be the hugest of threats, but oh, they are plotting.
Yeah, no, they're coming. I'm enjoying the conflict, man. There is something that needs to be addressed in these two episodes, or about these two episodes leading into the finale. We'll table that, I guess, for episode 7. Just remind me to go back to it. But the continuous character development of Oz is something that is very interesting, man. Like, so in the beginning of this episode, when they're sitting down having that family dinner, right, or a family breakfast, all seems very, very homely. It's trying to show you this human side of Oz. And then right as you start to get comfortable with that side of him, boom, now he yelling at Victor for pretending to be his dead brother. Like, man, your mom is losing her mind, bro. She's losing her mind. You only putting her in a more agitated state by like breaking her in the middle of her fugue state. So, it just it's he's a selfish person who really cares about the people that he loves, but has a very distorted way of taking care of them and showing them love and care. You see a little bit of that with Vic, right? As much as he's the only person we've really seen him genuinely connect with on a human level, outside of obviously his mother, he's still putting him in harm's way constantly, right? Like even when he catches his first body, he's just like, hey, look me in the eyes. It's gonna get easier. You're gonna do this shit some more, but just straighten up, tighten up. You know what I mean? It's just like you can tell that there's an affinity there, that there's affection there, but there's absolutely no sense of responsibility or morality or any of that. It is go get it by any means necessary, for sure.
And to that, it almost seems as if he's not even at times paying attention to what Vic has got going on. Vic is traumatized damn near when it comes to this. I forget what his name is. The other kid in the neighborhood.
Squid.
He is completely traumatized when it comes to this kid. He doesn't want anything to do with him, and yet obviously getting the motor running for the generator took precedence over whatever it was that Vic was talking about in that time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he realizes that Oz, his mind isn't in it, and that he's dealing with something right now. So similarly to how like Oz tried to take care of him, hey, go lay down, go take a shower. I'm gonna need you later. Rest up. That's how he attempted to kind of, handle it himself, in the preceding moments, the moments that led him to, telling Oz that he had a little confrontation. So they're both trying to kind of look out for each other. It's so hard to like root for Oz in the middle of him trying to protect his loved ones, because it's like, man, you a motherfucker, and you deserve this. Like, you absolutely deserve every bit of bad that comes to him. So it's like, it's so interesting to tell a story about a villain who's a villain for the sake of being a villain from his perspective. Right? Like it's no more noble. It doesn't have to be, deconstructing, doesn't have to, rewrite the character at all. No, he's still Oswald, right? But he's still Oswald, but now you see why Oswald is Oswald.
The other thing that I didn't really like so far, and we kind of saw this obviously within the last couple of episodes, but it's really noticeable now, is this transformation of Sophia. So once she admitted that she's a gigante, she's got this crazy
I'm a gigante.
She's got this eyeshadow, she's got the hair change and all of that. And because of where we were when we saw her like that, we didn't really notice a change in her character, but I just don't like it. It just seems like she's trying to double down into something that she's really not. And she does kind of address it a little bit, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's becoming Carmine. She's actually stepping into the position that Carmine was prepping her to become anyways. It's the damning thing, right? He earmarked her to be the one to take over the business, And then she starts asking questions about her mother's death and the death of the girls. And then she gets, pinned for those murders. And then, she gets out and she ends up being the exact heir to the Falcone throne that Carmine envisioned. Only she's not doing it under the name Falcone. She's running with Gigante, but everything else is the same. Extrajudicial killings. We're still trying to terrorize the city in the name of our drug profits. And she's every bit of the villain. She's willing to sacrifice her family members for power. It's every bit of what Carmine was about. Slightly different motivations, right? Or wholly different motivations. I'll even give her that. But same means, same ends. So, same thing about the tale of a villain. Like, they're not trying to humanize these people. They're not trying to give them the moral out or the high ground on anything. Because I don't think neither one of them, Sophia or Oz, as much as Oz has done to her, she's kind of earned the right to lay in the filth with him because of the way she's moved since she's got out of Arkham. So I understand it. I think it was the only place for that character to go. Her getting out of Arkham and coming back and being a do-gooder with Oswald was never going to be in the cards. So I think this path was pretty much written in stone. But it's something in the next episode that kind of confuses it a bit for me, I guess.
So even in him being a villain, you don't think, well, obviously it was for his own good, but you don't think there was any good in him getting the lights on for Crown Point for the people?
That was for him. He decided to do that until him and Vic and them had to go live over there.
I was definitely trying to make it a thing that it wasn't.
That was for his mama.
I mean, but hey, he did it though. Crown Point living a little bit better now that the lights are on.
Well, sure. Yeah, they are an unintended byproduct of Oswald's scheming.
Well, I mean, think about it. The fact that they have jobs working in the working and trying to get the bliss out on the streets. You know what I mean? They obviously see him as some kind of figure. It actually kind of speaks to, how inner city, children kind of look up to drug dealers at some level.
Sure.
Because they're the ones that are providing for the inner city, even though what they do is really bad.
You see that a lot in Oswald's story. He was talking about it to Vic when he had to burn his Maserati. He was, obviously here in the next up and coming episode, he, idolizes that guy Rex, the guy he was talking to Vic about in his car, and just the fact that he can leisurely, throw $50 back to to him and his family, and they pour his dirt. It doesn't take a lot to impress. So. It plays a major role in his maturation.
Yeah. So obviously Oz's mom's dementia comes up quite a bit in these two episodes and plays a huge role in the story for the most part. At one point it seemed as if Sophia triggered it, obviously in episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it gets triggered by certain things or, well, I guess it's just like real dimension in real life. I mean, some things might be able to, trigger it right away, and some things it just kind of gradually seeps into it.
It always seems to be around the boys, right? Obviously, the sons that she lost, which makes me wonder whether or not she knows what Oswald did, which is nuts. Imagine, unaliving your brothers so that you can have a night alone with your mom. Like, you. Hey, you.
Yeah, okay.
Relax, brother. Chill out a bit.
Literally, relax, brother. Okay. So then their relationship, I guess it's just from Oswald's standpoint. She is grieving the loss of not only her 2 sons in this case, but then I guess the father wasn't there.
Right,
so,
but does she know? No, obviously the dad's not there. But I'm saying, does she know? Did Oswald eventually tell her?
Yeah, I didn't mean when they finally, in present day. I guess I just meant it always seemed like they had a kind of like a weird relationship with each other from jump, or he had a weird
I think
affection for his mother.
he was the left out middle child, right? His
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
younger brother was the baby. He was the he was just kind of like the middle runt child, and that nobody was really paying attention to. They kind of
With a
tried to
leg
show you
brace.
that. Yeah, they tried to show you that in the early parts of episode 7, when we were going through Oz's childhood. And obviously his older brother had his mother's eye, right? Like that's the one that they had the private talks with, and that's the one she trusted. And obviously that's just kind of typical oldest stuff, but Oswald took it another way.
Yeah.
And while I was watching this, right, or leading up into this episode, I had always thought that the kind of uncomfortable nature of their relationship was kind of coming from his mom because of what she was saying, right? It was, yeah, you supposed to be doing this for me. You supposed to be getting me out of here. You supposed to make it big time, and like doesn't care that he's involved in criminality to get her there, right? And so it felt very self-serving until this episode when you realize that Oswald kind of pushed her into being in that place mentally.
Yes.
Right. She already was devoid of a husband, of a man, and that left her longing, but she was getting along until you killed her sons and left her with no one else in the world except for you.
Yeah.
Right. Like you kind of manipulated her into being dependent on you, which is a weird thing to say for like like 12, 11 years old.
Yeah.
So no, a lot of weirdness going on there. R.I.P. the other Oswald brothers. But I guess we should have seen that coming, right? Because he told Sophia that his mother was dead. That obviously wasn't true.
Not true.
So why wouldn't he lie about how his brothers died? But it just showing you he's always been shit. He's been shit. It wasn't. This wasn't a, oh man, he was a good guy and he didn't. No. It was always trash. He was trash from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. So then another person that he's effectively manipulated throughout the show is his, do I call her his girlfriend or what is she?
Are you talking about his lady of the night, his worker? Yeah.
Yeah, he effectively manipulated her to the point where she couldn't even tell if Sophia was telling the truth, and she gave the drop on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that was worth that. She was coming here to kill you, or at least fuck you up to get to Oz. And her problems ain't necessarily your problems. But then again, the girls that got murdered by Carmine was her friends. Because of your relationship, though, does he have the right to rat on Carmine Falcone to you? Like, does he have to do that to show an ounce of loyalty to you? Like, he couldn't save them girls. If Carmine wanted them dead, they was gonna die regardless. You couldn't defend them. I couldn't defend them. That part of it was out of my hands. Now the lying about it part, okay, you can have a discussion.
Well, then telling her would put him in danger as well.
Kinda. I mean, he didn't do it. Yeah, he didn't do it. Or I mean, I guess if they find out that he's talking about it, it would put her in danger. He would be putting her in danger by telling her that information. Either way you slice this, the response of you deserve your shot to go kill Oswald. Little nuts. It's a little nuts. It's a bit of a reach because, like, again, the lying part we're gonna have to discuss that. Should you have to die because of it? You understand she wants him dead, right? She's not killing Carmine Falcone, the person who actually locked her up, the person who actually murdered the women and murdered her mother. She going to kill Oz, the person you have a relationship with. So it was a little weird.
Yeah. Okay, so then I was really disappointed, and I felt like it was a little bit of a jip when it came to the last fight between Mr. Krabs and Oswald. I felt like
that shit was
there would have been
Oswald's getting his ass beat, Penguin's getting his ass beat. Here go Mr. Krabs have a cornea, right, like have a coronary right here in the middle of the damn melee.
You know,
let this man fill your body with lead and make it seem like he shot you to death. That ain't how it happened. He had a heart attack. He's an old man.
And now, he didn't have a heart attack.
What's crazy is he didn't have a heart attack fighting off, a prison guard and was able to break out of prison, was able to evade authorities and make it to a safe house, right? And do all of this ripping and running around around Gotham trying to find Oz, for the death of his wife and his son. But you ain't had no heart attack this whole time till you actually get him. You here now, this the moment, and you have a heart attack. I don't even know why they put that in there.
Yeah.
You should have made Oz like throw some dust in his eye or some shit like that, and then like stab him. I don't know, but something better than Lucille. Here I come.
Now, okay, so obviously he couldn't get his payback the way he wanted, but I do feel as if the way that Sophia finally, paid Oz back by blowing the entire shit up.
Fire. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I figured it was gonna be something to kind of blow up the trap, but I don't know. I just didn't see big ass bomb. We're gonna place that there because that has to be responded to. But talking about her or Sophia's conversation with Julian, right? Like she finally starts to realize that she's basically just repeating her father's steps, and that upsets her. But then the answer to that, it didn't really make much sense to me.
I would agree.
Not but I want Oswald to feel pain, and I want this and I want that. You still sound like your dad. That's your dad. That's your dad. I thought you. What the fuck?
Facts.
Julian just told you your dad doesn't have his hand around your throat anymore. What do you want? Okay, I actually want to do everything my dad did. Okay, what was the point then? You just needed somebody to run in here and tell you that it was okay. What about your cousin that saw the mask in your bag the night that you killed her entire family?
That's yeah.
What about the fact that you told her it was okay and that then people deserve to die, and then you left her in the asylum even though she's wanting to talk to the police? We just gonna take it on faith. She not gonna say nothing. We just living on a prayer, huh?
No, she's just repeating, like you said, her father's mistakes.
So that part didn't make much sense to me. And as far as the explosion is concerned, we have reached a point where things are happening in Gotham that cannot be ignored, not by normal citizens, not by the biggest crime fighter in the city.
But vigilante.
When we left off on Matt Reeves' Batman, the city was in absolute fear of that man. There were no moves being made. Carmine Falcone had just been murdered. The Riddler had just been figured out, and Batman reigns supreme in Gotham at the moment. There's no way that he blows up 4 city blocks all the way down to the sewers and doesn't show up or investigate
of completely innocent people.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he has to interfere with the ending between Sophia and Oz. I'm not saying he has to actually play a major role in that. But if he doesn't show up after they literally just put a hole in the middle of downtown Gotham, that's a hole in the story. Now they can do what they want. They can do what they want. The show's been good in spite of it. But we have reached a point where it doesn't really make sense for him not to show up in some capacity. You don't see nothing but him just the bat signal and him, swinging from building to building with the bat claw or something like that.
It's like bat signal, a flapping of the cape, something.
He's just not going to be sitting. I decided to take a vacation with Catwoman after Batman won. Like, no, yeah,
he's gonna have to address this for sure. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I left out of 6 and 7. Any other thoughts or anything like that?
That's it for me. Give us your thoughts on what you got for Penguin episodes 6 and 7. Got a big finale coming up this Sunday. We will have a single episode for that one coming out next week. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So if this is your first time with us, come back. We'll do these reviews every week, and tune in for more.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our review of episodes 1 through 3. And then we have another video for episodes 4 and 5. So make sure you check those out, see what we thought about those. And then, like you said, make sure you subscribe. We'll be here for the season finale next week. Peace.